into the perimeter. Now Madgen finds a way into the lane, and the floater was perfect, and they're all tied up. 4 points for the Opal. Allen, beautiful pass for Madgen, for Mitchell, for Madgen for 3. Boom. And out of bounds. And your sense, Laurie, Ezzy has been in the Opal setup for a couple of years now.
A nice little turnaround jump shot.
She's playing with a fierce determination early, but so is Lindsay Allen, who gets her scoring underway. And this is a wonderful start. Allen in for the feed off, or might even go herself inside. And when Lindsay Allen takes on that responsibility, it is exhilarating to watch. And the defensive hustle from the Lightning is blatant to see on the court at the moment. 5 to shoot for Lindsay Allen. Mid-range 2 drops. Comes so far from Steph Talbot and Alana Smith. You see Allen, George, Magbegor finally on the scoreboard. Great ball movement, Boomers.
Happy with Adelaide's ball movement to start that game in the first quarter. The captain, Steph Talbot, is on the bench to start this second term.
As Magbegor swats it away, and at the other end, and Smith bringing down her 5th rebound of the game. Allen stopped a certain bucket there. Werung had a cutting shook to the basket. Mitchell, again, selflessly kicking it out. George, Magbegor gets it to go off the glass. Just not clicking on offense at the moment for the Boomers. Madgen again pulls the trigger for deep and hits it. The two sides on the scoreboard early stages of the second term.
I think that's a look of sheer relief from Tess Madgen that shot went down.
We always thought, came into this game probably thinking the Boomers had the depth, but doing the job at the moment, this Adelaide bench. But there's the first bench points for the Boomers through Carly Ernst. First play in the double figures. This game, Smith, she's got 13. As Madgen pulls up from the charity stripe and hits a mid-range 2, she moves to 10 points. Smith and Williams and Shook, who had it knocked away from her, and Lindsay Allen is there. Talbot will be called for the foul as Allen was streaming down the floor. Sigh of relief for the Boomers. Madgen has been their go-to offensively, and she continues her hot form.
He does, and he would have, looked at, he would have been positive, and I spoke to him, and, he was on the back of another bucket by Tess Madgen. Mentioned a good game against Canberra, and that's what we like about these final teams in the final. They've all using the on-ball screens. A lot of times defense go under her.
Mitchell athletically finally able to break the shackles of the Adelaide Lightning defense, and hits for Tiff Mitchell as well to get that too. George thought about the 3. Madgen, Mitchell hits the triple.
That's exactly what the Boomers need to start this quarter, this half.
Better as this game goes on, Kylie Shook. Mitchell, a good look for 3 again. She knocks it down. 2 in a row for Tiff Mitchell.
Back at Tess Madgen realizing that Adelaide were in rotation there and making that extra pass.
Turnover, the ball in the hands of Mitchell. Great start to this quarter by the Boomers. Guarded by Williams. Pick and roll might be on there with Magbegor. George lost control. Maybe it was a pass to Madgen.
Wow.
It comes off.
Oh.
And the Boomers have flipped the script at the start of this quarter, and they are pumped. Some big triples from the Boomers. Mitchell with a couple. Madgen hitting her 3rd of the game, and all of a sudden, defense is really lifted here from the Adelaide Lightning. No easy passes. Allen right across for George. Was a good look for 3 and hits her first of the night. Terrific semi-final to kick off this WNBL final series. Quick hands from George, and the points to Magbegor.
Well, Kayla George only has 3 points, but she has 7 assists. So as we talked about, she's finding ways and means to keep herself involved and being a part of this.
Throwing everything now at Adelaide. The most important game of the season so far. Allen with the one hand, with authority. She's a star. Boomers fans lift their voices as Smith somehow gets a hand on it, but Ezzy Magbegor rips it away, forces a jump ball. And the Boomers fans loving in this third quarter. Great timing. 17 points now for Alana Smith, equal game high with Tess Madgen, who finds Magbegor from George, that is. Allen, good look for three, knocks it down, LA. Mitchell explodes towards the basket and hits the two, and we're all tied up in this semi-final. Young and Williams and Shook, as it has been mainly Smith and Talbot. Smith guarded here by George. Doing it all herself on the inside. Madgen wants the screen from George. Gets the screen from George. And hits the three to give the Boomers the lead for the first time tonight. Guy Malloy calls for calm. Mitchell, though, picks up the tempo. Can't quite continue the scoring momentum. Gives the side a fresh 14. Gives Madgen an opportunity for three. Then George hits the two. Talbot. Williams. Shook had it swatted away by George. The Boomers will have the final say of the quarter. Up by 3 points as we get this fourth quarter underway. First semi-final of the WNBL Final Series is delivering. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching around the country as Kayla George hits a terrific reverse layup. And they have played with a serious hunger and determination since half-time. Allen raising up for the mid-range too. And this terrific scoring run by the Boomers continues.
Screen at the top, you can see Kayla George re-screening here for Lindsay Allen, so it just catches the defense,
Smith trying her guts out. The Boomers have an answer every time. As Carly Ernst, that's her favourite position on the court, hit the three. Guy Malloy's side were playing some of their best basketball in this second half. This is a 26-point turnaround. Mitchell wins the turnover, and this is an easy two. At both ends of the floor for the Boomers at the moment. Allen works her way into the key, and the ball goes in through the hoop. 15-point Melbourne Boomers lead in the space of a quarter and a half. Mitchell kicks it out for Madgen. Mitchell from deep. They're loving it in Parkville tonight.
They're working the ball around. Nice penetration by Madgen. And we gave that credit to, some of that credit to Adelaide defense, and I think you've got to do the same in this half. Melbourne have certainly upped their defensive intensity and have taken.
Mitchell, George, Allen, with Williams in her face, has to put it up, knocks it down! They can do no wrong, the Melbourne Boomers. 13 steals to 3. Pick and roll action here with Allen and Magbegor as Ezzy gets the two and can make it a 3-point play.
They just have answers for whatever way Adelaide are playing that. So
since the league's inception, only one championship to their name, which was back in 2011. They've been perennial bridesmaids over the past few years, just haven't been able to get that championship. Mitchell, George, mid-range two drops, and Kayla George is up to 13 by the Melbourne Boomers.
And you know, that's what's been their problem on a couple of their losses, is that it's gotten close, they've been behind, and they haven't been able to close out a game.
The season was 9 points, which was against the Sydney Uni Flames. It's now just party time for the Boomers. A couple of sweet minutes coming up now for Ezzy Magbegor and her side. Their starters have done a terrific job. Brewster, Ernst, Scanlon, she's a championship player. She knows all about this time of the year and explodes to the rack to get her first points.